Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did it. I completed it. The Live Hard program is done. Well, it's technically been done for the past couple weeks. I'm just getting now to record this video, getting around to record this video, and I am like beyond excited. But before I get into the little story behind this, is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you guys for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. As always, if you could, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Make sure you stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesday videos. I am very excited. I'm still on a level of high that, I can't even really describe, because even though I officially finished this program a couple of weeks ago, the lingering feeling of happiness and just accomplishment from just doing this is beyond compare. For those of you who don't know what the Live Hard Challenge is, it's a program, a Live Hard program. It's a program that was created by Andy Frisella, and basically it is a mental toughness challenge that involves 4 phases. Most notably, as everybody knows about one of them in particular, 75 hard, and then the other 2 being, or the other 3 being phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, right? And these programs in particular are not easy to complete, right? Most notably, like I said, you've heard about 75 hard. There are a lot of people that don't even complete 75 hard. If you want to know what the program consists of, besides the fact that it's a mental toughness challenge, it's a level of task, a number of tasks that you have to complete on a daily basis without fail. So, for example, let's look at 75 hard alone, right? That's the more simplified version. So of all the phases, if you will. So you have to read 10 pages a day from a book that moves you forward in life. You have to take a progress picture per day, drink a gallon of water per day, do 2 workouts per day, 45 minutes each minimum. One of them at minimum has to be outside. Now you can do both outside if you want, that's cool too, but at least one of them have to be outside. There's no alcohol, no cheat meals, and you have to stick to a diet. So for example, if you say, you know what, during the course of 75 hard or phase 1 or whatever, I'm not going to eat any meat or dairy, then you need to stick to it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are no rules technically against you going out to eat, but of course use that within your rightful judgment, because it does say no cheat meals. You define what a cheat meal is. Don't cheat the program, otherwise you won't get the full results of the program. That's what it's all about. And I've been doing this program for 5 years now. I started in August of 2020. I'll never forget. I was staying at the Point Central in Orlando, Florida. I was going to UCF. I was in my 2nd year of grad school. I'm saying it like it was that long ago. 5 years wasn't that long ago, but it is in a sense, right? It's a lot of time. A lot of things can happen in 5 years. So I first started the program on August 1st, 2020. I'll never forget that day. I was my sorority sister, Brittany, shout out to her. She is the one that introduced me to the program because we did it together. She started a few days before I did, but nonetheless, we've always been on the level of keeping each other accountability with our fitness, with our health. We've been doing that with each other for years because we believe that health is wealth, and to be a better you is to be a better you for everybody that's around you. And in order for you to be around for people, you gotta what? You gotta maintain a healthy lifestyle. That's one thing that her and I have talked about for eons, right? In the time that we've known each other, which we've known each other for what? I want to say it's been about 13, 14 years now since we've known each other. So we're very big on the health and fitness too. And, one day she came to me with the idea of, hey, I'm doing this program called 75 Hard. Why don't you try it? I think it's something you would like, because I was a part of a couple of fitness programs that she was a part of with Herbalife and whatnot. So I said, what the hey, why not? I'll go ahead and join, check it out, see what it's like. So I did it, and I loved it. I love that the program helped me develop discipline. And mind you, the discipline was already somewhat there because I'm very big on fitness. I'm very big on working out. If anything, what it did was it amplified what I had going on. Excuse me, let me roll this window up just a little bit. Yeah, it amplified what I had going on for a little bit. And it really made me even more disciplined than where I was at before, right? So it was a very, very good way to increase what I already had, if you will, right? And let me roll this window up. Sorry about that. Got a little bit of air. But, yeah. So I started August 1st, 2020. And I started noticing how it challenged me. Because if you think about it, all the tasks I listed, and those are just 75 hard. I ain't even getting to phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. I'm not going to list those tasks. You can check those out on your own. But yeah, doing those on a daily basis every day is tough. I mean, just think about doing 2 workouts a day, right? And I know for some people, it's kind of the norm that every now and again you do 2 workouts a day. You might go to the gym and play some basketball, and you might go to the gym and lift weights later on, or you might go for your morning walk and then go to the gym with your significant other in the evening. You know, for some people it's second nature, but intentionally doing that for X amount of days, it's not easy. It's not an easy task at all. And I don't think people realize how challenging that can be, right? And not only how challenging it can be, but also how it takes a high level of discipline to maintain these tasks. I mean, Andrew Frisella says it himself. There's a lot of people that don't even complete the 75 hard program. They don't even want to start because they think it's too much. I cannot begin to tell you how many people, you know, I've told about the 75 part program and they was just like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. It's too much. I remember we had a 75 hard group on Instagram in 2020 that we all created together. And what's hilarious is, well, no, I'm not gonna say hilarious, but interestingly enough, a lot of people couldn't complete it. I'm not gonna say hilarious because, you know, it's a tough challenge. Everybody can't do it. There was a lot of people that dropped off or they had to keep starting over. I mean, I had to start over once because it's one of those things where the tasks, if you don't complete one of them, you have to start over from day one. Like literally from day one of 75 hard or phase 1 or phase 2. The only thing that doesn't apply to is phase 3 because it's a year-long program. You can't complete phase 3 until the last 30 days of that year. And if you fail phase 3, you have to start over from 75 hard. It takes a whole year to complete the program again. And how do I know about the antagonizing feat of this? Because I failed phase 3 twice. Once in 2021 and once in 2020. No, 2021? Hold on. I'm tripping. Once in 2022 and once in 2023. So I know exactly how it feels to face that form of agony of defeat. Y'all, it's horrible. To make it that far, to develop good discipline habits, to lose weight, to be eating healthier and, you know, maintaining a high level of discipline. And the next thing you know, and again, that's only with phase 3. All the other phases, as long as you're doing it within the right time frame, you just start over from the day 1 of whatever that phase is. So if you're on day 30 of 75 hard and you fail, you start over from day 1, 75 hard. If you're on day 28 of phase 2 and you fail, you start over from day 1 of phase 2. You don't go all the way back, right? And these 5 years, I had a very emotional moment. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a very emotional moment when I realized I was done with phase 3. My last day of phase 3 was July 7th. And it was very emotional because it literally, everything that happened these past 5 years, the good, the bad, the ugly, it just all hit me at once. I mean, just sucker punched me in the face. Everything that had happened, all the people I met, all the individuals that I interacted with, the challenges that I went through, the time of me being in school, you know, getting my specialist degree, which I still haven't got, still working on that. You know, me at the time being, you know, not having a grad assistant position for UCF, but just trusting God that I was going to find a way to make it through school without paying out of my pocket. The time that I was doing 75 hard, and I had 3 jobs. I was a grad assistant. I was working at Boys and Girls Club, and I was a substitute teacher at the time, right? The relationships that I developed with people, both platonic and romantic, me going down some dark spirals. I had moments where your boy had some things happen that he wasn't too proud of. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't fully trusting God the way that I needed to. I was out there moving how I wanted to move and not how God wanted me to move. You know, just so many different things. Dropping a mixtape. I said mixtape. 2 EPs. Technically 3. 2 solo and 1 with my group. The amount of performances that we've had. Developing this thing called Live from the Underground, which is a concert series that we do here in Orlando. And it's been a lot. A whole lot. Losing friends, losing family members. Literally everything within that 5-year time span came running through my mind in 5 minutes. And I just had to sit down and take a breath, because it was a sigh of relief knowing that I completed phase 3, but it was also a little bit of a grievance moment, right? Because it was a sign that chapter was finished. And oftentimes when we get that sign that chapter is finished, that's also a note to understand that it's time to let some things go. You know what I'm saying? It's time to let go of whatever you had in the past so that way you can move forward in the future. Because it's almost like my lady said, it's kind of an elevation of sorts. And it shows that you're willing to do anything. And with that elevation, it shows that God is going to take you to the next level. And whenever you go to a next level, they say next level, new devil. But everybody can't go with you, right? Everybody can't go with you on your journey as you increase. And, you know, I felt like it also prepared me for whatever challenges that I have in the future. And I know a lot of people, they downplay it. They don't think about it as a big deal and so on and so forth. And completely understandable. For me, it was. For me, it was a challenge that I just felt like I kept failing over and over again. It's like, you're trying to pass the test to get a job. And you finally pass the test. And you're qualified for the job at hand. That's how it felt, yo. That's how it felt. And I'm not ashamed to admit that it was challenging. And I fell short a lot. I mean, shoot, the first time around that I did the Live Hard program, I didn't even make it to phase 3. I didn't make it past phase 2. Because I had so much going on. This was 2021. When I had a really bad heartbreak that sent me to a downward spiral. And then, finding out my dad had cancer at the time. And having to finish grad school at UCF. Getting my degree in college education. Higher education / college teaching. That was a tough one, y'all. I remember getting to the end of phase 2 in April of 2021. I had a few days left, and I was struggling because I had 2 big papers that were due, and I had to make a decision, y'all. It was like either I could finish phase 2 or I could graduate. And I had to come to a moment of realization that I exhausted all of my extended options because my roommate had passed away. That was another thing. R.I.P. to Cato. He passed away, and my teachers had given me extensions, right? But the extensions only went but so far because we still had to wrap up the semester. So, and all in all, a decision had to be made. And I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and graduate. So I said, you know what? I'm going to fail phase 2. I was going to restart phase 2, and I still had time, but I'm going to be honest. I was such in a state of depression and so many other things. It just, for me, it just didn't make sense, right? So I had ultimately decided, you know what? I'm going to try again in August. And that's what I did, and there was a lot of great things that came during this time period of me trying to pass a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. A lot of people actually ended up getting on board with 75 Hard because they saw what I was doing, my consistency, and just my ability to never give up. I mean, I had people that got in my inbox on Instagram, my DMs, and was like, yo, I've seen when you first started or at some point when you were doing this, and just to see how much you've grown from your experiences is a big deal. And that means a lot to me, because it shows me that I was able to inspire others to challenge themselves. And, praise be to God, I'm forever grateful to that, because, again, that's what this channel is about. Here to motivate, encourage, and inspire you to be a better you. That's our motto. You know how we roll. It's been the same thing for 10 years, and it ain't going to change no time soon, So, now that I'm done with the program, a lot of people have the question of, well, Marcus, what's next? What you got planned now that you're finished with the Live Hard program? Well, glad you asked. We about to run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back. We are running that thing back. So I'm going to be starting 75 Hard again on August 11th. I was going to do it on August 1st, but I decided to push it back because, number one, if I would have started on August 1st, it would have been on a Friday. It's kind of an awkward day to start something. I'd rather start on Monday, or even a Sunday, the beginning of the week. But we're going to start on a Monday. And number two, I want to do it the way that I initially intended to do it in terms of a time frame, right? You can start 75 Hard or the Live Hard program whenever you want. There is no limit to when you have to start. But I started in August of 2025. And I'm going to do a round 2, like I said before. And I want to stay true to when I originally started. So yeah, we're going to start in August, which is literally tomorrow, as I'm recording this video on YouTube. And on Instagram, we're already in August, truth be told. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. There's a lot of dietary restrictions that I originally did when I originally did 75 Hard that I didn't do, or the Live Hard program that I didn't do this time around. I'm not going to say I was more lenient, but I was trying some things. And I felt like I could have pushed myself a little bit harder with certain things. So I want to push myself to the max this time, right? I really want to push myself to the maximum to get where I would like to get to. And we're going to see how we roll. And I'm very, very excited about it, And I'll give you an example of what that looks like, right? So for me, my dietary restrictions for the most part during this Live Hard program this time around was really like no junk food, maybe sometimes I would put no bread and so on and so forth. But this time, I'm going hardcore the way I started with it, right? So when I do 75 Hard, starting August 11th, no meat, no dairy. That's how I'm starting off. No meat, no dairy, and no eating out at all. Of course, no junk food, no snacks. Fruits, vegetables, that's acceptable. My pre-planning snacks, which I have listed out what those are, and post-planning snacks, and workout snacks. And I forgot to mention, no dairy besides my protein shakes. My protein shakes do have dairy in it, and also my protein snacks have dairy in it. But other than that, no meat, no dairy, right? And when I do phase 1, it'll be no bread. Phase 2, no juice. And I'll keep adding to it to challenge myself even more. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm doing a round 2 because, I want to do this round 2 in dedication to my roommate, Cato. And for me doing that, I want to my past roommate, I should say. I want to start, because he was the first person to see me in person do this. And, I wish he was here now to see that I give him a phone call, let him know I did it. You know what I mean? Or he would see it on Instagram or something. I'm pretty sure he would be proud. So the second one is for Cato, my dog. And it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. So this time around when I do 75 Hard, both, if you've seen this on Instagram is not going to be so much active with me posting. I would post my thing every day. I think I might change it to weekly or bi-weekly because I've already been there and done that. You know what's up. But I know on YouTube, I'll post it more on a, consistent basis, because, I want you guys to see the changes that will be taking place, and, how 75 Hard is ran. And, I want to get more people involved. And not even necessarily just with 75 Hard, because I know the Live Hard program is not for everybody. But I want to get people involved with being a better them holistically. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Greatly appreciate it. It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be better. Much love, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.